So guys, welcome to Is It So Bad? Is it that bad? Is Next Generation, is Next Gen 7th season really so bad? Most fans feel it is, or when you have a fan poll, they say it is. They agree. And I gotta make a little personal note before I go any further. My episode, the Next Generation episode I wrote, is in the 7th season. So in a way, I'm biased. But I'll tell you, right off the bat, I kind of agree, meaning I look at all these seasons, of course, as a fan first and foremost, then I wrote for Next Generation, and it's pretty bad. Though I'd say, of course, number one, the first season, I guess they go back and forth, right? They vie for that title. They're always competing for the title of worst season for Next Gen. But why is it so bad? Well, we can go to a lot of reasons. We could just go for maybe saturation. Maybe fans were starting to get tired of it. Even though 6th season, a lot of great stories, people were excited. You could argue that maybe 5th and 6th were the most exciting. I'd say 3 and 4 in terms of seasons, but maybe there were saturations. A saturation, and there's just too much of something, too much even of a good thing, right? You want to eat some veggies and fruit and good stuff instead of all the candy and ice cream and cake, right? All right, so, but what's the main reasons of the episodes? Well, we can go through a host of them. I did the research so you don't have to, and I found these are the 5 worst ones. Now, I did a video on the worst 5 about a year ago, but these I guess made the cut as well. But as you'll see, there's a couple that I kind of like, and maybe you do too. All right, Sub Rosa. That's the one, of course, with Dr. Crusher's Nana and her grandma dying and the weird ghost, sort of a gothic, almost horror love story. Now, I don't love this episode, but I don't really hate it. It's got great production values. It's got great costumes and sets. I think it's awesome in terms of that. I love horror. I love gothic horror, and what is it? I think his name is Duncan Rieger, the actor, the guest star. He's really good, as the horny ghost. I don't know. I mean, it is outlandish in one way, but the execution, the production values, spot on. Thought it was great. All right, season 7's Genesis. This is a favorite of mine. I love this episode. People are like, oh, well, it's questionable science, and the concept stretches the suspension of disbelief. In other words, it's malarkey. Yeah, guys, it's called techno or babble. We've seen it before. Now you could say, oh, it's really pushing the envelope more. I suppose. I just love the makeup. I don't know offhand if it was nominated for makeup, a special makeup for the 7th season for maybe this episode. It should have been. If not, Troy alone with her gills. Love it. So I like Genesis. I don't know. All right. Masks. Now this one I agree. It is so bad. I hate this episode. I tried to watch it. I did watch it the other day. I made a video of it. It was struggle just to make the video. It is so bad. Brent Spiner's performance, which is really, really good, is so bad. The voices, oh my God. So a lot of other people say it's slow-paced, nonsensical, a plot that feels more like a stage play than a compelling Star Trek adventure. I'd agree. That's Masks. I hate it with a bomb. All right. Force of Nature. This is kind of the global warming climate change episode, which is still, of course, a serious topic. But back there in the mid-late 90s, 94 or so, it was really starting to ramp up, right? So it's like, don't fly the Enterprise past a certain warp. What? Because you're going to, rip away space-time, the fabric of space-time. It's just, most people think it's very lecturing, sort of a heavy-handed solution. And it's just, they never kind of used it again then, remember? Well, when Voyager came out like a year later, they made the nacelles, if I recall, rotating up and down, which you do see, but it's not like a big sticking point, but that was supposed to prevent the warp effect, the ripping of space-time, the ripping away of it. And finally, last but not least, is Journey's End. This is the episode that sees Wesley Crusher return. And he gets involved with a big of a dust-up, right, with the group of Native American colonists and the Federation. Why not? Now, it's often criticized for its handling of sensitive cultural issues like sort of Native Americans. And then it's got kind of a hokey, contrived plot, to say the least. And then Wesley is like a rebel without a cause. Well, in this case, it's a rebel with a cause, right? And which a lot of people found to be kind of like unusual for him, kind of unearned, and not sticking and staying with his genius level, super genius character, right? I guess. I don't. To me, I actually watched it the other day to see how bad it was, and it's not as bad as I remember, but it's pretty bad. I just think it's kind of boring, and then kind of the traveler comes in, he's pretending to be the native dude, and it's like, yikes. Anyway, that's it. So what do you think? I mean, again, I know I'm biased. Homeward, that's my episode where Worf and his brother Paul Sorvino plays him. Not a shabby one, right? Not too bad. Most people, when I tell them, go, oh, I loved it, or oh, I liked it. Once I did have a guy who said, I hated it. We were hanging out with some friends, a little party, and he's like, oh, I hate that episode. Oh, okay. Sorry, dude. Sorry, thanks. But the bottom line is that I don't think the 7th season is really the worst, but there's a lot of clunkers. The 1st season has a lot of clunkers. So let's say this. There's a tie. I think the 7th season ties with the 1st season, right? But again, maybe because the 1st season, it was all new. We were meeting these new characters and actors. McCoy came on the pilot episode, and it's like, whoa, it's Star Trek again. So I think, and even the effects at the time, cutting edge, ILM, it was brand new. And so I think you can forgive that. And the development, Riker didn't have a beard until the 2nd season. So it was developing. It was its embryonic growing pains. And then the 7th season, we were like, seeing that, let's get to the movies. People were kind of waiting for the movies. It's like, it's over, whatever. Anyway, give us your thoughts. Give us your feedback. Tell us what you think. Hope you're enjoying. Hope you're subscribing. See you soon.